Got Tom Sherman
Oh,
on.
we're
Uh
going.
huh. Plenty of pit. Got Tom Sherman on the drive. Topic is sponsor guys racing sportsmen. Tom, what's your opinion? I think we're gonna have a difference of opinions on it here, but what's your opinion of sponsor guys racing sportsman class?
Well, first off, I don't have a dog in the fight because I don't run a lot of 8-scale.
Right.
So my opinion is just my opinion and not necessarily the opinion of this station.
Right.
I think if a guy's got a full chassis, if he's got a chassis sponsor, he probably shouldn't be running Sportsman. If you're good enough to get a chassis sponsor, but we know how the sponsorships go lately, the last 5 or 6 years.
Right.
They gave out a lot of chassis sponsorship over the last 5 or 6 years. So it doesn't necessarily mean a whole lot, but I think if they think enough of you to have a chassis sponsorship, you probably shouldn't be running in a sportsman's class.
Right.
If you got a tire sponsorship or a motor or battery sponsorship or, a sticker sponsorship, whatever it is, I don't really see too much harm in running Sportsman. You have some guys that run 8-scale that, well, let me start back. You have some guys that probably got their sponsorships running 10-scale.
Right.
And they do pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
And then they kind of transition into 8-scale, or they were running 8-scale already to begin with, but maybe they're not as good at 8-scale as they are 10-scale. Or they're just getting into 8-scale. I got an Ebuggy. I don't run it a lot. I have a chassis sponsorship, but I don't think I would run it at the pro level. I would run the next level down, whatever it is. If it's intermediate, whatever they call it in 8-scale. I'm not a big 8-scale racer, so I don't know all the different levels they run. But I wouldn't run Sportsman. But hell, some of them Sportsman guys, they're probably faster than most of the intermediate guys.
Right.
But I think you need to drive what suits your ability and what your goals are. If you're an okay driver and you're not really aspiring to keep moving up, run Sportsman. If you're an okay driver and you're trying to get better and improve your skills, run intermediate. The sponsorship goes, I'm okay with, if a guy's got a tire sponsorship and he's an okay driver, he's not really wanting to do anything else with it, run Sportsman. Have fun with it. You're probably going to make some A-mains and, probably finish top 5, top 7, or win them. You may win sport. They may win Sportsman class. No, I don't know. But if you got a chassis sponsorship, I don't think even if it's a 50 off deal with a chassis sponsorship, I still don't think you should be running Sportsman.
Right.
What's your take on it?
I think if you're good enough to get a tire deal, you shouldn't be running Sportsman. I think Sportsman is the class it's above novice, but it's still guys are paying 100% out of pocket, And also with that too, I think if your lap times is faster or on par with intermediate, you should be bumped.
I don't disagree with that part.
Yeah, because I've seen races where guys are running Sportsman, chassis sponsor guys are running Sportsman, and their times is on par with intermediate, or will put them in the A with intermediate, but they're in Sportsman class.
I may be wrong, but I've seen some races where they kind of had a breakout time.
Mm-hmm.
So if you were running Sportsman, I may be wrong on this, but I could have swore I watched this on one of the races. I think if you were Sportsman and you were running your qualifying times were better than the bottom 50% of intermediate, they automatically bumped you up to intermediate.
Okay.
But I don't think that's standard by any means. But I think that's something that some of these 8-scale promoters might need to look at. That run these 8-scale races. But then again, you may have you could have a field of intermediate guys that really suck. So their times aren't that great.
Right.
And then all of a sudden you're getting some sportsman guys getting bumped up. But I mean, I guess they still finish pretty well in intermediate. I don't know.
Because I'm kind of looking at it from this standpoint of you got a guy at the local scene that does good. He just broke out of novice, so he's in Sportsman local scene and he does good. And then he's going to a big race and he's racing against Sportsman guys that have sponsorships and been racing Sportsman their whole time. Like they never bumped up, Like, and their times is just ridiculously fast.
10-scale, we have independent.
Yeah.
They've been running independent 17.5 two-wheel drive.
Right. That's what I would think Sportsman would be in 8-scale.
A lot of those, there's been races I've been at where several of the A-main independent guys would have made the A-main in expert stock. Should those guys be forced to get bumped up to expert stock?
I think they should.
But they're not sponsored.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
They're independent. They're not allowed to have any sponsorships. But I still think some of them do have sponsorships. They just don't claim them.
Right.
I mean, I've seen, especially I think it was the Florida Carpet Championships. Some of the guys running independent were running just as fast as expert guys. Lap times were definitely the same speed. Maybe not quite as consistent as the top expert guys, but they could have easily made A-main and expert stock. I don't know, Sportsman, I mean, it'd be cool if it was strictly a privateer class.
Right.
But you could have some trophy hounds that are out trophy hunting. That's fine. I don't care about it, but they could just say, you could have a sponsor guy say, okay, I'm not going to take any sponsorships for the next 2 years, and he could technically go down and run Sportsman.
Right. Well, that's like I'll throw my name kind of in that hat. Is like, I made a 4-wheel drive mod, A-main at the J Concept 2016. Race 4-wheel mod and 2-wheel mod and truck mod. But when my local track closed and I wasn't racing Harley ever, maybe 4 times a year, I went and raced independent or open.
Right.
But at the same time, I never had sponsorships, but I raced with those guys that were super fast. But then I dropped.
No, I think they ought to make it purely on lap times.
Right.
Or, if you go to a big race, everybody signs up for, we'll just go to an 8-scale race. Everybody signs up, Ebuggy.
Mm-hmm.
No classes.
Right.
Just one, everybody signs up for Ebuggy.
Mm-hmm.
Practice times are monitored, and then you split up the groups based on whatever the practice times were. So now you split it up from your expert guys, and you're going to have to look, you have to make a decision where the split is, but that should be easy enough to do. You make the split between pro, intermediate, and sportsman, depending on lap times. Your top 3 average is X. You're going into pro. If it's this fast, you're going to intermediate. If it's this fast, you're going to sportsman.
Mm-hmm.
Well, after the first round of qualifying, now you have a good judgment of time. You can resort the entire field again, which shouldn't take that long, shouldn't be that hard to do, where this is the cutoff time for pro, this is the cutoff time for intermediate, and then everybody else falls into sportsman. Now, that being said, you can have a pro guy break in his first qualifier. So he's bumped down to sportsman. Right? So there's usually a minimum of 3 rounds at these big races qualifying. So you're going to have to kind of reshuffle and sort that every round, because you could have a pro guy break the first round and now he's bumped down to sportsman, and then you could have a sportsman guy go out there and just have the drive of his life in the first round, and it might put him into the pro class. So you kind of gotta have to do a resort after each round of qualifying, resetting that bar for the times.
Right.
After 3 rounds of qualifying, you're gonna have your main set. So that would be an interesting way to do it. I don't know if it would work, but it'd be an interesting way to do it. That would kind of eliminate. Novice is still going to be novice. You can't add novice in there. But it would be kind of cool to do that with everything.
Right.
Ebuggy, E-Truggy, Nitro Buggy, Nitro Truggy, the whole thing. And it'd be kind of cool to see how that would work in 10 scale. Because you got some of these independent guys that are fast as shit.
Right.
I'm happy they are fast as shit. But that would also, look at the big picture of that. Maybe I'm over. You have 200 people in a field. Well, no, let's take it to 10 scale real quick. Going to Masters of Dirt right now. Got what was there? 14 people signed up for Mod Buggy.
Yeah.
So Mod is going to be Mod.
Right.
And I think he only has just 17.5. There's no split up in 17.5, right?
No.
Okay, so this won't be a good race to do it with. Some of these other bigger races where they have an independent class of 17.5 and an expert class of 17.5, everybody signs up to 17.5.
Right. Yeah, they got 21.5 novice.
Yeah, well, you couldn't run that. Those 21.5 guys, change the subject real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You got some of them 21.5 cars that are running better lap times than 17.5 cars, which I think is pretty cool, and I would actually like to run 21.5, but I don't think they'll let me run 21.5.
No, it's got novice.
It's normally an independent class, and I'm thinking, well, yeah, but that would be for an older gentleman like myself. It might be pretty cool to run a car that's a little bit slower and easier to drive.
Right.
But anyway, so those guys got to stay there. But mod with mod, stock with stock, 21.5 and 21.5.
Mm-hmm.
Now, what were our motors back in the day? 27 turn?
Yeah.
Stock motors back in the day?
Mod motor back in the day, I raced a 13 double.
Right, but I'm thinking the stock motors.
Oh.
They think they were 27 turn motors.
I think they were.
But anyway, another side note.
Yeah.
Thank God I'm not a race promoter or put on races, because that's probably what I would do.
Right.
Everybody signs up for the class, whether it's Ebuggy, E-Truggy, based on your practice times, your best 3 laps in practice, no matter when you go out. The computer can do all that now. It's not that hard to do. Based on your best 3 laps, your best 3 lap average, or best 3 consecutive laps is where you're going to get placed. And then you just do a resort every round. I think that would be pretty. I think it'd be pretty fair. I think it'd be pretty. You'd be pretty accurate, where you would have the proper skill level drivers in their proper races. I think it'd be a lot better. It'd be a lot closer than what they do now.
Right.
But that's just me thinking while I'm driving.
Right. Yeah, camera's still rolling. So that was our Sportsman, 23 minutes in. Yeah, if you liked the video, like, subscribe, thumbs up. Check out my little affiliate links down below. I have my own shirt, so win and learn, never lose. RC Vitals, and I have Race Till I Die. I do everything 100% unsponsored, so the little links, every little bit helps out. But yeah, comment down below what y'all thought of the video. If y'all want to add something to the video, comment down below. But as usual, if you see me out and about or see me at the track, come up to me and say what's up. I'm just like everybody else. See you soon.